Hi, and welcome to episode 56 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah, and I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my husband Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah, and soon to be a little baby. So, I am the designer behind Yarnia Designs. And you can find my designs on Ravelry and Payhip as Yarnia Designs, and I'll include links to all the places you can find me on Instagram and all my shops on all things like that just down below in the description box. I'll also include links to everything like patterns and yarn dyers, etc. that I talk about just in there as well. So, what do I want to talk about first? If you're new to the podcast, big welcome. Thank you for joining me. It's really nice to have you here. And yeah, if you don't already know, I am currently pregnant. I'm 35 weeks at the moment, so there's not that long to go. And I don't know whether I'll fit in another podcast before the baby arrives or not. So if I end up not posting another video for quite a while, then that's why. So, moving on to what I'm wearing, I thought I would get out an oldie but a goodie today. This is my Pear Blossom shawl, which I'm currently wearing. And it's a fingering weight shawl, which I designed a couple of years ago. I think maybe 2019? I can't remember. So it was a couple of years ago. And unfortunately the yarn dyer no longer dyes yarn, so I won't be able to direct you to this lovely colourway, but I'm sure you can find other beautiful yarns out there. So it's a fingering weight shawl, uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and it's an asymmetric triangle shape. So I'll show you. I'll just take it off. So here we go. That's the overall shape. So it's got one longer, pointier end, and then the main triangle is more angled at one side of the shawl. And I really love this shape to wear and to knit as well, because your rows don't end up too long. So yeah, this has got sort of a mixture of garter stitch and a fairly simple lace pattern with some eyelets, and that just repeats nicely throughout the shawl. So yeah, that's the Pear Blossom shawl that I'm wearing today. So I'm just going to pop that back on. And yeah, I do love wearing this one. I'm quite drawn to fairly neutral colours and sort of light pinks recently. So I find that this colour sort of goes with everything, and it's such an easy shawl to throw on. Just wear under your coat or around the house. I do both of those things. So yeah, that's the Pear Blossom shawl. And next thing I wanted to talk about was a lovely pattern which was gifted to me by my friend Becky, who is Bexy Norms on Instagram, and you can find her on Ravelry as Becky Norman. She's also the podcaster in the podcast Bex Creates, so I'll include links to all the places you can find her. And she gifted me very generously a copy of her latest sock pattern, which is called the Stella and Jeff socks, they feature a really pretty lace pattern, which sort of represents the little paw prints, because the socks are inspired by Stella, who was the dog of Claire and John of Bird Street Yarn, and also Jeff, who is the dog owned by Kelly of Lay Family Yarn. So the pair of socks was inspired by both of those, and she knit a pair in each of their colourways, which were inspired by the dogs as well. So it was really nice. And she also offered to give a copy away on my podcast as well. So we're going to have a little impromptu giveaway for this pattern. And I think I'm going to run it on Ravelry just because I don't know when I'm going to podcast again next. And I don't want to leave everyone in the lurch. So if I open a Ravelry thread, and there will be a prompt in there. I need to think of one. But there will be a prompt in there just to enter. If you are unable to use Ravelry, I would suggest if you send me a message, probably on Instagram or via email, that would probably be the best way to get in contact with me. I will put an entry in for you in the Ravelry thread, like on your behalf, so that you're not left out of the giveaway. So, yes, there will be a link to that thread in the description box below as well. So you can just click that one link and go and enter. And yeah, big thank you to Becky for giving us a copy of the pattern to give away. So, on to the actual knitting content. I might just have a sip of my tea and prepare myself for all of the talking. I have just got, I don't know if you can hear a slight noise, I have just got my oil diffuser on just next to me, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear. It might make a slight bubbling sound, but if that bothers anyone, let me know and I won't have it on again while I'm filming. But I was just quite excited to use it because I got it recently and I thought I would have it on and just get nice ambience whilst I'm filming. But hopefully it doesn't interrupt the audio or anything like that. I'm not sure if it will. I'll have to find out when I edit this. Okay, so I've got a couple of finished objects, nothing major. I'm still just working on the same couple of things mostly. However, I did completely finish a cardigan, which I showed you last time. I finished all the knitting. I don't think I had blocked it at the time, and I definitely hadn't added the buttons. But it's completely finished now and ready for the little one to wear it once she's big enough. So this is the Anna's Summer Cardigan by Petite Knit. And it's a beautiful children's pattern, which just features a little simple eyelet pattern throughout the cardigan. So it's just nice and simple and sort of a classic design. And the yarn I used for this is West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep. I think it was the Seahorse colourway. And then I've just got these little buttons on here which actually match the yarn really well. And they're sort of a minty green as well. And I just picked those up from John Lewis. They're fairly cheap plastic buttons, so it'll be easy to put in the wash, hopefully, this, because the yarn is washable and yeah, hopefully we'll get some use out of that in a couple of months. So I knit the smallest size, which is 3 to 6 months, that's the smallest size they do on this pattern, but hopefully we'll get lots of use out of that in a couple of months. So, oh, we are now not focused. There we are. So yes, but just thought I'd quickly show you that now that it's completely finished. So I'll just pop that over here. And the other project, which I think I've started and finished since I last recorded, is just called the Basic Baby Hat, and it's a pattern by Heather Tucker on Ravelry. In this one, it is a free pattern. So it's just a very simple baby hat knit in DK weight yarn. Sorry, I forgot to say the Anna's summer cardigan is in DK weight yarn as well, but that one is a paid for pattern. This one, it's a free pattern, just very, very simple stockinette baby hat where you just get to knit round and round with 2x2 rib at the bottom, knit round and around, and then you've just got very simple decreases at the top. And it took hardly any time at all because it's in DK weight yarn, and I did the newborn size for this one. The yarn I used, I don't actually know who the dyer is. I got it on a D-stash a couple of years ago, and it didn't come with details of who the dyer was or anything like that. So, but it is clearly hand-dyed yarn, and it's very nice and squishy. Probably a merino nylon blend. So yeah, this, I think if you watched my last episode, the Paparium cardigan that I knit, which is the one where the buttons go not down the front, centre front, they go down the side of the cardigan. I used the leftover yarn from that project to make a matching hat. So that will be really nice to have like a little matching set, hopefully. And yeah, so I'm taking this hat and the Paparium cardigan to the hospital as sort of like the first sort of going home outfit. So I've no idea whether it will fit or not, but we will see. I'm obviously taking a couple of other things as well. Just a variety of size options. So yeah, if anything it'll be too big, so at least we can then just roll the hat up, and maybe she could wear it like that. So yeah. So yeah, that's just called the Basic Baby Hat. And those are all of the finished objects that I have to show you, because I've spent the majority of my time working on a cardigan design, which I did show you last time. I'll show it again now. And oh yes, it is living in, I'll show you the side with the label on, my beautiful sweater size bag from Hikari Handmade. And if you've not seen or tried Hikari's bags before, I can't recommend them highly enough. She does a variety of sizes, but in particular the large sweater size. You can fit huge projects in these, and they're so well made. I love the fabrics that she uses. They're such a good size. So this has got currently a 7 to 8 skein project living in it, and there's still room for more. So yeah, it's a good size. Right, so living in here is the cabled cardigan design, which I've been working away on. And it's a slightly awkward stage to show, but I think the last time I showed it, I was still working on the back piece and hadn't attached any shoulders or anything like that. So there's quite a lot of progress on this. at the moment. So we now have something that actually resembles a cardigan. So you can see I've got shoulders. We've even got a whole sleeve over here. I'm currently working on the neckband. Sorry, the what do you call this bit? I'm working a shawl collar into this design basically. So I'm in the middle of short rows, and it's a slightly awkward stage to show you, but hopefully you'll get the idea. So at the moment I've just done one sleeve, and I'm now working on the collar. Then I'm going to knit the second sleeve afterwards, and then it's done. So the body has actually been blocked at the bottom here. Ooh, I'm just getting a bit blown out. Oh, it's really difficult to show. At the bottom, it won't actually be attached like that. That's just, it's all on the one cable for me knitting the collar. So it does actually sit really nicely at the bottom. And I'll just show you the back. You might get a better idea of the shape. So here we go. Unfortunately, I can't try it on for you at the moment because of knitting the collar, but hopefully next time I see you and post a video, I'll be able to try it on for you. And yeah, so my aim is to try and get this to my tech editor and completely knitted the sample before the baby arrives. So I've got quite a few weeks. Well, I say quite a few. She could arrive early, you never know. But I've got 5 weeks until the due date, so I suppose that could be anywhere between 3 to 7 weeks that I've got left. So I'd just quite like to get this one finished, and at least with the tech editor, before she arrives. So yeah, you can sort of see its cables and texture. And then I'm planning, hopefully, to run the test knit over spring and summer. I thought that would be something that I can manage with a newborn, hopefully. So yeah, here we go. Texture and cables everywhere. Yeah. Hopefully you got a decent look at that. It's kind of difficult to show, but you just have to tune in again next time once I've actually finished it. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to pop that over here. Oh, I forgot to mention the yarn. So the yarn I'm using for that is DK weight. It is the Fibre Fox I think it's 100% Merino DK in the rose gold colourway, and it's such a gorgeous base, so squishy, and the colour is just absolutely stunning. I want to knit everything in this colourway. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, I think it shows up the cables really well. Even though it's a variegated colourway, it's just lightly variegated enough that it shows off a pattern really well. So that's the yarn I'm using for that. Okay, if you are interested in test knitting, by the way, once I'm ready for that stage, if you sign up to my test knitter email list, I will, if you go onto my Instagram account and click on the link in my profile, there is a link within there to sign up to the test knitter list. You can also sign up to my newsletter from Instagram as well, and you actually get, when you sign up to my newsletter, you actually get a 50% off code to use on Ravelry. So that is worth doing if you're looking at purchasing a couple of my patterns, because you can use it across everything in my shop. So there we go. I will also announce on Instagram usually when I'm looking for test knitters but it'll always go out to the email list first. Okay, right, I think that makes sense. So on to my next project, which is living in my beautiful bag from Eldon Woodcraft. Oh, I'm covered. There is mohair in here, so it's there's floof coming out of the top. Just open it up so you can see properly. Hopefully things aren't getting too blown out. Might just have to adjust the lighting. The sun's come out and made everything. I might take this off. I think all of the light colours are upsetting the camera. Over there. Hopefully that might be a bit better. Sorry if the lighting's dodgy. Here we go. Right. So this is my beautiful project bag by Emma of Eldon Woodcraft. And I just love it. Living in here is the Mimi cardigan, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. And here we go. I think the last time, I had just started fading in my second colour, and I definitely hadn't split for sleeves yet, so there is quite a bit of progress on here. Now you can sort of see the fade that's happening. On there. It's slightly still bunched up on the needles. I'll just try and straighten that out. So, yeah, so I started with like a really neutral cream colour, and then I'm fading down into sort of a dusty pink, and then that's going to continue into a sort of darker dustier pink, and then into a sort of pinky brown colour. So it's going to hopefully be a really nice fade through the colours. And yeah, it's knit using 2 strands of mohair, lace weight mohair, held together, and the yarns I'm using are all this Drops Kid Silk Unicolor. So I did show all 4 colours that I'm fading together on the last episode, so if you want to see the full colour range, go check out the previous episode, but these are the 2 that I'm actually using so far in the cardigan. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this project. Now that I'm past the split for the sleeves, it's just lovely stockinette going round and round, well, back and forth because it's a cardigan. So there are purl rows and knit rows, but then I just have to focus on when to add buttonholes and when I need to start fading the next colour in. But it's a really, really enjoyable knit, and I can't wait to have this to wear as well. So currently the sleeve sections look huge, but that's because Joji gets you to add a pleat into the top of the sleeves. So I think from reading ahead in the pattern, instead of the sleeve bit being this long, it will end up being about half of that, I think, only about that, which looks much more like a normal sleeve width. Let me just make sure I'm not losing any stitches over here. This yarn's quite slippy and likes to slip off the needles. Just try and show you, yeah. So that's the shape it'll actually probably look like once it's done at the top. I think you now have to pick up for the collar as well, like the neckband. But, yeah, really liking how this looks so far. I'm really pleased with how the colours are fading as well, so it's a good project, which I am enjoying. So that's the Mimi cardigan. There we go, so that's a good mindless knit. Then I've got one other current project on the needles, which is living in this gorgeous bag from Bird Street Yarn. I do love this one. It's just beautiful fabric. And living in here is my Radvent throw. So this is a pattern by Amber O'Brien, and she gets you to knit 24 squares individually, and then you join them all at the end, I think using crochet at the end, but the actual squares are knitted. So I have done 1, 2, 3, I've completed 4 squares so far, so I will just try and show you those. And these are all using my Lay Family Yarn advent calendar from last year, and I am holding just a white mohair together with each colourway. So that's the first colour. And then we move into the second colour, which is gorgeous peachy colour. And then we're sort of graduating into a slightly warmer or more yellowy peach. So, I'll just hold up 2 at once so you can see how they're sort of graduating. Yeah, this is the third square. And then the fourth one, which I finished, moves into yellow. So far we've got, try and lay these on me. Let's see. It's quite difficult to show, but we've got 4 squares. You can sort of see them all now. There we go. Yes, I could do with some sort of washing line to hang them on across the screen, because as I get more and more squares, this is going to get very difficult to hold them all up. So yeah, there we go. I'm really enjoying this project. It's just really mindless now that I can remember how to do a square without having to look at the instructions. So yeah, it's designed to use 20-gram minis, I think. Yeah. So that's the 4 that I've finished. And then one which I'm currently working on follows on from the yellow. And it's a different yellow. I think it's a brighter yellow, slightly. I'll just try and show you that. Oops. There you go. So yeah, it's a bit of a brighter, more vibrant yellow. Just to show you compared to the other one. No, is it? No, it's definitely a darker yellow. Not that you can tell in this weird lighting that I've got going on today. Maybe it'll show up better on the screen than I can see right now. But it's quite a subtle difference. This one's definitely got speckles of orange in it. Yeah. It's quite difficult to tell the difference, but I've definitely used a different ball of yarn. So let me show you. Yes, this was the yarn for the first one, and this is the yarn for the second one. So you can see this one, the second one is darker, but it's just not really showing up very well. But maybe it will when I look at the yarn on the computer, and hopefully you can see it better on the laptop or TV or whatever you're watching this on. I've just dropped a ball of yarn. I'm not going to be able to pick that up right now. So I'm just creating mess around myself. I'll put these squares away and then pop that back in the bag so I don't lose any pieces. But there is there's like that little ball of yellow yarn just dropped on the floor, and now I can't get it back. So I'll just have another sip of tea, and then I'll move on to some acquisitions and things I've got as gifts for the baby, all knitting related. So yes, that'll be exciting. Okay, so I'll show you this one first. This is a gorgeous little jumper which was knitted by my mum, and obviously for the baby. I think this is a newborn size. I'm not sure what the pattern is, but she may have already told me and I just forgot. And I'm sure I can find out if anyone is interested in what the pattern is. It's got on the back just some little buttons here to help with ease of getting the jumper on and off, I'm guessing. But yeah, it's lovely yarn. I think she used, oh, what did she use? She did tell me. I'm not sure if it was West Yorkshire Spinners. I'm not sure. I think it may have been West Yorkshire Spinners. Not too sure now. I could be completely wrong. But I love the colours. They're just beautiful, aren't they? So yes, lovely little baby jumper, which will come in very handy, I'm sure. And yeah, so that is one of the gifts. Then I got from my lovely friend Becky, who I mentioned earlier, who is Becky Norman on Ravelry and Bexy Norms on Instagram. She gifted me a lovely little collection of hand knits, and this gorgeous little short sleeve jumper, I think is the Prairie Fire by Tin Can Knits. This lovely garter stitch around the neckband and the edges of the sleeves and the hem. and I think she's just striped 2 different colourways. And then she's really kindly knitted a hat in each of the colours. So we've got 2 matching hats to go with this gorgeous jumper. I think she used Stylecraft from looking up her Instagram post. I can't remember what exactly it was called, but they're lovely. And these hats are much smaller than the ones I've knitted, so this will be good to have some variety. Hopefully they'll fit very early on. So I'm actually going to take one of these to hospital with me, in case the ones I've knitted are far too big. So yeah, here we go. Beautiful. I think the hat pattern she used, what does it say? I did write it down. It's the Magic Coffee hat pattern. I think that may also be by Tin Can Knits, but I'm not too sure. But it's the Magic Coffee hat. So here we go. They are so pretty. Yeah. Now we just need to wait for her to arrive so that she can enjoy all this, enjoy keeping warm in all this knitwear that we are accumulating. Right, so those are the gifts, or like the baby gifts. Then I've got a little bit of stash acquisition, because since I last filmed, we've actually managed to swap Christmas presents with my parents and actually managed to see them, as we couldn't see them at Christmas due to one thing and another. And my lovely parents gave me a couple of skeins of yarn, so I'll just show you those. We've got 2 from Ducky Darlings. The first one is the Feeling Festive colourway, and I think they are both 4-ply superwash merino nylon, 75/25. So this is Feeling Festive. It's just got gorgeous speckles. So these will be lovely for some festive knits at the end, towards the end of this year. Just love those greens with the speckles in there. So that's Feeling Festive. Oh, sorry, there's the yarn label. And then we've also got A Hug for Christmas, which I really love this one as well. Especially these speckles. Oh, it's the speckles that get me. So yeah, this is the this bit here is just gorgeous. Oh, and this bit, these speckles here. I think this one's going to make a really fun pair of socks, or it could end up being something for the baby. You just don't know. So yeah. These 2 from Ducky Darlings. Lovely. So those were Christmas presents. And the other things I've got to show you, I purchased at Flock, which, if you don't already know, Claire and John of Bird Street Yarn host a quarterly sort of meetup for knitters and crocheters and all sorts of fibre crafts. They host it in Bristol, so it's for the southwest yarnies, but anyone can come from all over the place. So they always have their own sort of stall of yarn there, and it's more a social event for knitters and crafters to get together and meet up, sort of get to eat cake, drink lots of tea, peruse some yarn and sit and knit or crochet or whatever it is that you want to do. So I picked up 2 skeins of Bird Street yarn. They are both on 4-ply, which I think is their 75-25 merino nylon. And this one is called Figgy, and I'm a bit obsessed with this colour. It's getting slightly blown out, but if I show you with the label, it might trick the camera into showing you the real colour. Yeah. Yeah, so it's this gorgeous, deep, rich, sort of plum aubergine colour, and I just absolutely love it. It's just gorgeous. So I picked up that one, and then I also picked up a skein of their Rhapsody colourway, which is this beautiful sort of dusty pink. And I really love this one. I think this one would be really, really lovely for a sock design at some point. So I didn't actually plan for the 2 skeins to go together. They do go quite nicely though. I seem to buy yarn in pairs at the moment. And yeah, they do actually go really nicely together, but I think they are destined for separate projects. That's why I've got in mind anyway. Do you find that your physical knitting or crafting ability struggles to keep up with the speed of your that your brain wants you to? I have so many ideas going on in my head for different designs and projects I want to do, and just not enough time to actually get them all in motion. So I end up with a bit of a queue in my brain of things I want to create and design and cast on, which is really good to have the inspiration there. But the speed at which I can knit just cannot keep up, along with all the other stuff that goes along with creating a design which you then put out into the world. Because the knitting part of it is only a very small part, so it just takes time, unfortunately. And I can't keep up with all the ideas I've got going on, but things will be in the pipeline, hopefully, later in the year. So yes, I've got a little bit more that I picked up at Flock, because we had a guest. There's always a guest vendor alongside Claire and John's own little stall, and this time we had Rachel of Fly Dyed, and she brought the most beautiful one-of-a-kind colourways. So I believe the way she works is she doesn't do repeatable colourways. It's all one-of-a-kind, which she does in obviously like batches. So she'll do multiples of a colourway, but then that colourway won't get repeated, I believe. And I picked up 2 skeins of DK from her I Am Love collection. So I'll just show you the colourway. The colourway is Beauty Marks 2.0, and it's on this gorgeous Donegal net base. And I just love the colourway. I don't know what I'm planning to do with it yet. It could be something gorgeous for the baby down the line, or it could be like a cowl design. That would be nice in DK. But yeah, so oh yeah, here's the yarn label. Let me just show you that. So it's Fly Dyed. Hopefully, I'm just going to scoot forward a little bit so that I can make sure you can read it properly on here without getting blown out. yeah, so it says flydyed.com, one of a kind, one skein wonders, hand dyed in the UK. So I will link to all the places you can find Rachel of Fly Dyed on here. It was really lovely to meet her and squish her yarn in person. She had so many beautiful things, and I had to restrain myself a little bit, so I just came away with 2 skeins, but I really, really love this colourway. It's just sort of like the blush tones, and on the Donegal nep, I think just really looks gorgeous. So I'll be excited to create something with this at some point. But until then, I can just look at it and enjoy how beautiful it is. So yeah, definitely go and check out her yarns because they are gorgeous. So that, I think, is everything that I had on my list to talk to you about. So don't forget, we're running the giveaway for the Stella and Jeff socks over on Ravelry, which is the gorgeous pattern by Becky Norman. And yes, I don't know when I will next be filming. If I have chance to, I'll probably try and fit in one more podcast before the baby arrives, but it depends whether she's on time or what happens, because I've heard babies just they've got their own agenda, so I don't think she's going to be sticking to any schedule that I've got in mind. So we'll just see what happens, and I will so with the giveaway, I'll run that for a week from the day that this podcast goes live, and I will then contact the winner on Ravelry, or if you did an entry by messaging me directly, I'll contact you back via that platform. So yes, you'll have 1 week from this video going live to enter the giveaway, and I will then be in contact with the winner. If I don't speak to you again before the baby arrives, then hopefully I will find time to podcast later on in the spring and summer. We'll just have to see how things go and play things by ear, I think. But it's been really, really lovely to catch up with you all and to just chat to you again. So I do really enjoy filming these podcasts, and getting a bit of interaction with you in the comments is always really fun too. Hearing what you're up to, things you're enjoying making. So I'll leave you there, and hopefully speak to you all again soon. But if not, if it's a little while, then I will speak to you at some point in the future.